my name is Faith. I'm writing an adult literary fiction novel called Therapy Confessions about a girl who goes to therapy because she feels lonely, I guess. And after that, things happen. And when I say things happen, I guess we get to know her past, kind of, sort of. That's what I'm pitching it as. I need to actually figure out the actual pitch of it. But today's video is going to be me reading books like the book I'm going to be the Therapy Confession. I'm trying to find a comp for Therapy Confession, so I'm going to read all these books in this video. Let me show you each book, tell you what it's all about, what each book is about, and why I think it's going to be a comp, and then we're going to figure out what book I should start with. So the first book on this list, this is in no particular order, is Help Wanted. This is about some sort of, I think, grocery store heist type of thing. There's these people who work at this grocery store, and they just I think have a scheming thing to steal. Are they trying to steal the boxes? I have no idea, but it's why I picked it is because my main character also works a minimum wage job, and so I just thought a book about a person with just a regular job or whatever, not a regular job, but a minimum wage job. See what it's about, see either if it can inspire my book writing or if it can become a comp. I don't know if it'll be a comp, but I do think it could. Actually, it could be a comp. It could be, but see if it can inspire my work or whatever it needs to do. Then the second one we have is All the Lonely People. My book obviously is about lonely, the main character is lonely, so there's that. And this, okay, wait, actually, let's first off say what it's about. So All the Lonely People is about this older gentleman, this older guy, whatever, I guess him, he tells his daughter, yeah, he's telling his daughter about this made up life or whatever he has, and to make her feel better about him being, I think he's in some sort of home. I don't know. Let me not just look too deeply into it. I knew what it was when I bought it. Don't know what it is now, but he's in some type of home, I guess, and he's telling his daughter that he's happy, he has all these friends and stuff, and he's doing this so that his daughter doesn't worry about him. But then one day his daughter says that he's gonna come visit him, and then he has to try to make his pretend life feel like his actual life, and the life that he has is lonely. Blah blah blah. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this, and this feels the biggest it could be a comp type of thing for my book, and the reason why I think this will be a comp is because just the whole idea of a made-up life and a real life, and just that's very much with my book, because in my book the main character daydreams a lot, and she has these imagined life type of thing, and yeah, I think that would just go very well with this book. And then the last book I'll be reading is When All Is Said by oh, I didn't say the author is, let me just leave it alone. You guys can see who the author is. And this book is about this old man. Dang, all these books are about older people. But anyways, it's about this guy. He's I guess drinking in this pub. Wait, what is it? At a bar. Yeah, he's doing that, and he raises a toast to the 5 most important people of his life. Yeah, to the 5 people who have meant the most to him. So he just raises this toast, and he does that for each person. I guess he just tells the story of each person and his life with each person. At least that's what I'm getting from the book. That's what it's seeming like. And the reason why I picked this book is because just telling your, I guess, life story is just basically what my main character is doing. And when I say life story, I just mean just telling someone random a story about your life, stories about your life. And this book also just has that trope. I also don't know if this is going to be a comp. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just I don't know if this will be a comp, but I think it will benefit me, like, when it comes to writing the book, my book in general. So there's that. So now we have to pick which book I'm going to read first. So there's, again, When All Is Said. This is a really bad way to do this. All the Lonely People, and Help Wanted. So I have to pick one of these books. Actually, let me look at the page count. Okay, you know what? Maybe I should actually just, like, you know, swiftly pick something and not just, like, hold you guys, but, like, I actually don't know what I'm gonna pick. This one is 270 pages. Help Wanted. When All Is Done. When All Is Done is 323 pages. And then All the Lonely People, let's see the page count. Oh. Wait, oh, yeah, All the Lonely People. Okay. This is 371 pages, 371 pages. Should I start off with the longest book, or because I want to start off with, like, the book that I think is the most worthy, but then also, wait, or should I? Okay, this one, I know I don't want to start with this one, just because I just think that these are two very beneficial things that I can get from now, and I need to read it now. But this is the book we're starting with. Okay, it's a shorter book. Let's start off with Help Wanted. Actually, let me re-say what it's about. Actually, no, let me not. You guys know what it's about. It's the book about some sort of minimum wage job, or at least I think it's minimum wage. I don't know what type of job it is, but, like, whatever. So I'm going to read this. How I'm going to do this video is I'll come back to you guys when I finish the book, and I'll tell you my thoughts. I'm not going to do a mid-book update because I didn't like that I did like my A Little Life vlog. I just think that it feels weird when you only come back, like, once or twice. So I just, like, I think I'm just gonna read it all and then come back to you guys, and that's how it's gonna be. And then we're gonna pick the next book, and that's it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna start reading tomorrow. So yeah, I'll come back when I finish this book and tell you if it's tell you what I've learned from it, and just, like, tell you all the details. Okay, I'm back. I finished Help Wanted. Right. Think about it. Okay, so basically what this book is about, and I feel like I should do just, like, a what is this book about thing. I'm not going to be sharing any spoilers, at least I don't think so in this vlog, but, like, at least not for this book. But I'm just going to re-say, like, what the book is about, even though you guys just heard what the book is about, because I feel like once I finish reading a book, I get a better picture of, like, what it's actually about, not just, like, what's on the back page and just, like, what it says. So basically what this book is about is there's this group of just, like, workers who work at this store. They work as just, like, restockers and stuff like that, and they do something in the back. They do some taking boxes out of just, like, this what is it, the truck that comes into the stores to just, like, give them, you know, what they need. So basically they do that, and it's called a big box store. I don't know, but they do that stuff. And but anyways, so, and they're not getting as many hours as they want, and they're not getting paid as much as they want. But then this event happens in their life where they general manager, I think, no, store manager their store manager is leaving, and so that means that if their group manager, which is, like, under the, not group manager, there's like this little page. I'll show you guys this little page that shows you just like what everyone's job is or whatever. So if the logistics manager or the executive manager moves up the rank to do that, then their group manager, which is like, it's like a list of three, like the store manager, the executive manager, and then there's the group manager at the bottom, and then there's like obviously them at the very bottom. But like when it comes to leadership roles, that's the list of how it goes. And basically, if the executive manager for their department becomes the main manager, then that means that the group manager will become the executive manager, and then there will be a free manager spot open. So they're all like thinking about how they could become the manager, and basically we like get a little glimpse into each person's life, if they think they'll become manager, if they don't, what has happened in their life, and then basically they make this plan to make sure that their executive manager of their department becomes the main manager of the store. And that's basically what the book is. I feel like, I don't know what a slice of life book is. I'll probably search it up. I was about to search it up before I made this clip, but like I feel like this is giving a slice of life, even though I'm just going based off like what I think a slice of life book is, though I don't know the official meaning of it, but whatever. I feel like this is like a slice of life book where it's just like the stakes are not that, well, they don't seem as big when you're just like looking at it, or just like when you're just when you first thinking about it. But like as you read the story, it kind of just like feels like this almost mundane thing that's happening is just like high stakes, and the way that they make it seem, it just is a higher staked thing. Would I give this a 5 stars? Not really. What else about this book? I feel like this is one of those books where you can only read it once, because if you read it again it's going to be boring. But for the first time it was good. I feel like this talked a lot about just like relatable working a minimum wage job type of thing, which was fun. And so basically, let's now talk about if this is a comp for my book. I would say, well, actually, or just like what I got from it for my book, because I feel like this video, okay, let's just say like a unintended thing that helped about reading this book. Like right now I'm trying to figure out what my book is about, and like not what my book is about, like I feel like I did kind of figure that out, but like I'm trying to get inspiration for my book, and I feel like reading books that are close to my book does help with that, just like on the inspiration level. And so I feel like this did inspire me for my book. I feel like, would this be a comp? Maybe. I don't know. There's no real answer to that. And I don't know if all of these books I'm gonna say I don't know, because like I feel like this book, it did come out recently, which is I guess really good, because like that's a good thing. I feel like my book doesn't take place at a store as much as this book does, so that's just like whatever. And I just feel like this talks more about the working experience than my book does, because my book is just like mostly about her going to therapy and that, just like that whole thing. But she does work at a minimum wage job, store, whatever thing, and I feel like in that way it's similar, but it's just like outside of her working at the clothing store, it's not similar. So I don't know if this would be a comp, but it did inspire me for my book a little bit in some aspects. Now let's talk about the next book I'm going to read, and this book is like the book that I think will be more like my book and be like the most likely to be a comp for my book, and it's All the Lonely People by Mike Gale. Oh, I should have said Adele Waldman. I should have just like said the author, but yeah. So I'm going to read this book. It's about, I think I already said what it's about. Should I say it again? I'll say it again, even though I feel like this video is going to become more of a me saying what every book is about over and over again. So basically this person, I think it's him, he's in this retirement home or something. His daughter keeps calling him and just like asking about his day, and he keeps lying about it because he doesn't want to worry his daughter. He's actually wait, no, he says that he's not lonely, that he's having fun. He is making up this whole life. And then his daughter says that he's visiting, so he has to make his imagined life into his real life, because like his actual life is lonely and I don't know, just lonely. And so he's trying to make those connections, blah blah blah, I guess. And okay, I don't know. Let me look at this. Okay, I'm just looking at the people on the cover to just like see if this gives me any like clue as to like what's happening. Like, I think this is the daughter, maybe, and then this is him, maybe. Cool. Anyways, but yeah, basically, and what I'm assuming this book will be like my book is because it talks about just like being lonely, and also just like just like this fake reality versus this real reality. And potentially my book will be about making this fake reality her real reality, but who knows. But yeah, I'm gonna read this book, and then I'll be back again when the book is finished. And yeah, the second book in this video. Okay guys, I finished this book. My hair is wet. I'm trying out a side part. I don't know if I like it. Once it dries, I'll see if I like it. But anyways, I finished this book. Let me tell you what it's about again. I feel like it's getting annoying me telling you what the book is about, and that's why when I talk about this book, I'll just talk about something else. But like, yeah, so basically what this book is about, now that I've actually read it and actually know what I'm talking about, so this book is about Herbert, or I don't know, that's what I called him. But yeah, he feels lonely because everyone is gone. His daughter is in like Australia. His doesn't say anything else. Like, his wife has died. His son is an addict, and like basically, yeah, so there's that. And so he feels lonely. He has calls with his daughter like every day, and no, not every day, once a week. His daughter is asking a lot about his friends and stuff, so he made up these invisible friends or whatever, not invisible but like imaginary friend, not imaginary, just made up these friends when it came to talking to his daughter, so his daughter doesn't worry and come back to Australia. He hasn't seen his daughters for like 7 years or whatever. And yeah, so then one day his daughter says that she's coming home. Okay, yeah, his daughter says that, okay, this hairstyle looks way better in person, but like out of person it does, I don't know, like on this camera it looks worse. I don't know why. But anyways, yeah, so then the daughter, wait, yeah, so the daughter says she's coming home. He's like, okay, I need to make friends. He visits one of his friends. He's like, no, I guess he doesn't see the friend or whatever. Then this random girl comes to his apartment or whatever, wherever he lives, and knocks on the door to see him or whatever. And then after that, they become friends. They have, this isn't spoilers, by the way, this is like fully just like what happened, like just beginning stuff. So basically after that, my brother's voice is gonna be in the background, but at this point I don't care. Yeah, so I guess I'll just cut out every pause because he's just gonna whatever be doing that, and I don't feel like talking to him or whatever. Anyways, so basically do come together, the girl who talks to him randomly, and they decide to make this anti-loneliness campaign thing or whatever it is. And while we're getting that, we get flashbacks to the past and just like what happened in the past. So basically, let's talk about this book. Okay, when I was first reading it, it was giving very much like A Man Called Ove, which isn't like the type of loneliness book I'm personally writing. So at first I was like, oh, okay, this isn't a comp, this isn't a comp. Then a twist happens in the book. I'm gonna give the twist. I'm gonna have the a spoilers thing right there. So if you don't want to read all the lonely people, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you've already read the book, you can listen to the spoilers section. If not, just skip to the point where I don't have spoiler written on the screen anymore. So basically what happens is that we figure out that the daughter Rose has been dead like this whole time, and because of that, yeah, the daughter has been dead for the whole time, whatever. So like he's just making all of this up, and just like the daughter having to come home, whatever. So I'm going to take off the spoiler sign now, and you understand what the spoiler is and why I keep saying like, okay, this, okay, why is this, just stay, okay, just stay still. Is this doing? Making me mad? Okay, no. Okay, let me. Okay, but yeah. What the freak? Okay. Okay, I adjusted it again because it was just not working. So basically, now that I've already said the spoiler, now you understand what I'm talking about when I go farther into this review. Okay, so now the spoilers are off. Let's talk about like how this, I guess spoiler, but I'm not going to be talking about what the spoiler is, makes me comp this book to my book. Because of like the twist that happens, I feel like this book is more like my book. Okay, what am I trying to say? Because of it like it more correlates to what the back of the book was saying, and the reason why I was like, okay, this book is going to comp to my book, because like it has more of that essence of, I don't know, him making things up and just like reality versus not reality. And because of this whatever twist, we see that, and so because of that, I would actually comp this to my book. And I actually think I do have like the comps for my book. I think the comps like I'm officially gonna use like in general are, plus if you see these like wet stains on my shirt, it's because I washed my hair or whatever. So let me get out the books that I'm trying to say. Where are these books? I low-key think, okay, now that I've gotten the books out, that these are the 3 comps to my book, and like the, I don't know, which I think I do want like a more recent comp to my book. I feel like this is just like won't be a book that actually is comp to it. I'm still reading it because I said I would. And second off, why else am I reading it? Because for inspiration for my book, and I just get inspiration for that. But like, let's talk about these 3 books and why I say like these are like basically the official comps and like whatever. Okay, so for this, first off, this book, I feel like this talks about language and just like just like language in general, and like the book I'm writing, Therapy Confessions, is just like very much about language, and so this is like a part of the list. Let me put that down. Then this book, obviously, as I said, the difference between reality and not reality, just makes it a comp. And then Eleanor Oliphant is just like basically the same thing, like lonely main character, copes about her past, like copes with her past, or just like copes with loneliness. No, not her past. Copes with loneliness through just like random things, and just like that's what my book is basically is. So I feel like these are the 3 comps to my book. If I were to change the comps to my book, I think I would have to have like a way more recent title, but none of these are like recent enough to just like be that. And this isn't just like recent enough, so this will probably not be like on my actual comp list, but like we're reading this book to get inspiration for my book. So yeah, I guess I'll wait, no, let me say why this could be a comp. So it's probably not going to be a comp because, as I said, I've basically found all the comps I have, or just like the comps I want to use. And if it's not these books, it's not going to be this one, so whatever. So basically why I say this could be a comp to my book is because the main character tells stories about his life to random people. Well, like, not random people. Like, in my book, it's not random people, but, like, I guess in this book, he just tells his life story to people and basically, like, or just, like, recounting their life to someone else. So that's why this is just, like, a potential comp. Plus, I love the way that this, like, book is just, like, you know what I mean? This is a nice-looking book. Like, the cover is perfectly stiff and, like, I don't know. Like, a cover like this is just, like, I don't know. It's not... But this one is just, it looks like a perfect book. Like the way that it just holds the pages. I don't know. I love this just like book in general, just like the way that this book is built. Okay. But that doesn't matter. I've been just like looking at it and thinking that, but like I was just like, there's no point to ever say that because like that's just, I don't know. Whatever. So I'll read this, I'll give you guys my review, but like this is more than likely not the comp to my book. These books are, and I think I'll eventually make like a books that I comp to my book, but I feel like I need more than just like these comps, because first off I need a comp that's more recent, and yeah, to replace one of these books. Plus another thing I was gonna say is I feel like Black authors comp their books to at least one Black book, and like that's why I was hoping this was a comp to my book. And I don't know if that's because like the point of a comp is to say that there's a target audience for your book, and like if you are a Black author, it's like by comping your book to a Black book, you are saying that there is a target audience for your book because like you're also writing a Black book. I don't know, that's just like something I was thinking of, and just like back when I was freaking out about this probably not being a comp for me, but now that it is, like I don't have to worry about that. But like I don't know, you guys should probably leave it in the comments like if that's just like a thing that people do because they just want to, or if it's a thing that they do because they basically have to. But I feel like people would also just like lie about like thinking that or whatever, because it's just like, bro, you don't want to admit to just like saying that you think there's no target audience for a Black book because whatever, there's not a Black audience for it. Yeah, I feel like you wouldn't want to admit to that, but like whatever, I feel like a bunch of people do it, so I'm just gonna assume that's just like something that you're supposed to do. So yeah, we're gonna read this book, then I'm gonna come back to you guys. Plus it's been a week since I read that other book, All the Lonely People, so a long time. But yeah, hopefully this doesn't take me as long, and then we'll be ending the video. Yeah, okay, I cut my hair and it's like really short, which it's probably not noticeable because it's like kind of wet right now. Like today's wash day, so like it's longer than my hair usually is, but like I cut it, so who knows what it's gonna look like in the next couple of days. Do I regret it? Does the haircut look okay? I have no idea. I cut it, whatever. So basically I finished this book, When All Is Said by Anne Griffin, and here are my, I guess. Okay, first off, what's the book about? The book is about what is it? This guy who's telling his son his like just like 5 people who have been really important to his life, and these, yeah, who have been really important to his life, and he just gives you just like, he does 5 toasts to these people, and basically we just hear about each of them. And yeah, that's what the story is. First off, I feel like, let's just get this out of the way. I feel like I could have given this book a 5-star rating, but like I didn't, because like I feel like today is July, what is it? July 11th? July 12th? July something. Yeah, this is whatever. And so what is it about it being okay? Yeah, so it's like it took me a long time to read this, though I am reading a different book. I have been reading a different book for like 2 days, but actually no, I finished this book yesterday. No, I finished it the day before yesterday. So like 2 days I have not been reading this book. But yeah, I finished it and whatever. I feel like if I were to have read this at a different time, I would have rated it 5 stars. And there's a chance that when I reread the book, I'll rate it 5 stars. But I don't know, because like I feel like there was just a lot going on these 2 weeks, or it's been into July, because like I told you guys this in my June vlog, where I was like, okay, I'm not going on different medication. Like it's just like it's gonna be a very weird 2 weeks. And I also just like had a bunch of things, and it's just like I was kind of not skim reading this, but like I don't know, not fully understanding what was happening. Like it's just like I don't reread passages. Like if I don't understand something, I just keep going, and that's what I did for this. And so yeah, that's what I did. Let's talk about if this is actually a comp, because that's, I guess, what this video is about. I'd say no. Like that, it's plain and simple. Like I feel like I thought this book would be something different. When I read it, I was like, oh, okay, this is like a completely different book than I thought it would be. And even with the book I thought it would be, I low-key don't think it would be a comp, because I think the only way for this to have been a comp is for the main character to have been talking to someone, just like, I don't know, it would have to be like the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but for a normal person, if that makes sense. Like someone is being spoken to by someone, but it's like usually in stories, when it comes to someone telling their life story, either the person's old like this person, or they and second off, he wasn't telling his story to someone else. There was no like friendship moment between him and just like who he was telling the story to, because it was his son. And it would not be a comp for my book, and I guess that's really all. I don't know if that's just like a good whatever. I just feel like that's not. But like, as I said before, these are the 3 books I feel like I would end up comping my book to, and I said the reasons for all of them, but I feel like these are the actual comps for my book. I feel like I accomplished what I needed to do in this video, though I feel like I didn't really talk about like how I came up with these 2 books being my comps. When I came into this video, these 2 books I was not really thinking of as comps. Actually, kind of. Okay, when I read this book, I've read this book before. I've read it like in, what was it? I read it twice. So I read it the first time, I think 2 years ago. No, the last year. Yeah, probably last year. And then I reread it, and when I was rereading it, I was thinking about how this book connects to my book a lot, because of what's called discussions of language, and just like, yeah, language, and how language, wait, what is it? Learning language, no, when people take away deaf, is it deaf or, yeah, people's ability to use sign language, because they think that like using cochlear implants and like, what is it, the other thing, I forgot the other one. No, let me think. I low-key don't think I'm gonna remember, but this was mostly talking about cochlear. Wait, I don't even know if it's called cochlear. I don't know what it is. Something implants. It sounded like I just read it out loud, just read it, and that's how I was doing it. But like whatever, and it talks about like how not teaching them sign language deprives them of language and also deprives them of a way of communication. I feel like that is why I compared it to my book. And then A Little Elephant. This book I wasn't thinking of comping my book to because like I don't know, what was it? I don't know. I just didn't think of comping it to my book. I was like, oh, okay, both of them are about loneliness. But like, as I was doing this video, I think somewhere in there, I was talking about how I was reading the backs of every cover, or that was in my June vlog. But I was doing that to figure out what my book was about. And then I read the back of this book and I was like, this book is a lot like the book I'm writing about. So I was like, okay, yeah, you're a comp. And then obviously this one, when it comes to the daydreaming, it's a comp for my book. And I feel like that's what makes these like the 3 perfect comps for my book. Though I do think I do need like a book that is more recent, I'm happy with these 3 books being something. So yeah, this book wasn't really a comp. And yeah, I guess I'm done with this video. Let me take out all the books. Where is my Help Wanted book? Help Wanted. Okay, there you are. Okay, so let's just do a little what I took from each book thing. Help Wanted, I feel like it was way different of a just like about a store book than I thought. I also learned throughout this just like vlogging process that my book isn't as much about the grocery store that the main character works at, and it's more about like how she feels stuck in time when it comes to working at this grocery store. Like I feel like I learned that, and because of that, this is not a comp. Then we did All the Lonely People. This ended up being a comp because like it talked about I don't know, reality versus just like this fake world or whatever. My book is about daydreaming and the real world, and just like how the main character just like, I don't know, mixes it up, and just like she lives in both, and just like it's a very complex let me not say complex, because the thing is that right now writing it, it's going somewhere, hopefully. But like I feel like this just like communicates, but I'm not talking about it shares that same thing with it, and I think that because of that, it's going to share a comp with this book. This book also had the component of my book where the main character is telling someone else their life story, or just stories about their life. I feel like the problem with this book was the fact that, and that's not a problem to the book, actually. It's not like these books, there is nothing bad about these books. The problem is that they are not comps to my book, which is like the point of this video. So like, I'm not saying that any of these books are bad books. But I guess why it's not a comp for my book is because the main character isn't forming a friendship with the person that he is telling his story to. And because of that, I feel like if I were to say more of a comp in that regard, I would say, where is it? Do I even have it here? I don't think I do. I'm probably going to put it on the screen. The 100 Years of Lenny and Margot, I would put that as like a more of a comp of like what this book is. That book could still be a comp for my book. Depends on what I'm thinking when it comes to the comps I already have. Yeah, depending on what I want, I could also comp that to my book, because like I feel like all 4 of these books are just like very much like what my book is about, and it's just like I can just switch it up depending on like what the agent wants, which I'm nowhere near queering, but like I don't know, I feel like this experiment and just like me reading books that are close to my book was also just like really good when it came to just like figuring out what my book is about, and just like learning more about my book, because I feel like reading these books made me learn something about my book. Like this book, the fact that my character is going to be more friends with the person that she's telling her life story to. This book, I don't think anything. This book, as I said again, that it's less about the story and more about her feelings on having still going nowhere in her career life like everyone else in her life is. So yeah, I'm glad I did read these books for this video. One of them was like worth the video, but the rest didn't really do anything for this. Like, it wasn't like a comp to my book, but like that's completely okay. And low-key, I think for the next book I write, I'm gonna do like a couple of these videos, because like this was really helpful, just like reading books that I thought would be comps to my book, because it's not even just about, as I said again, I'm saying this over and over again, it's not even just about like the fact that these books are comps. It's also about the fact that these books help me understand what my book is and what my book isn't. So I'm glad I I'm glad I read these books, and that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, bye.